Okay, so first let me have my quick introduction. So my name is Nitin Srivastav. I'm having 5+ year of experience in DXC Technology, Bangalore location. And I have worked on technologies like big data, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, web frameworks, chatbots. I've worked on these domains in my past experience. And currently I'm into this profile, training profile, as well as a development profile. And I have started my career from Noida location, from the same company, DXC Technology. Then later on, I moved myself to Bangalore location, and there I got my profiles, development profiles, big data, data science, analytics, these kind of things. So this was my journey throughout, from entry level to this AI level. So in this session, we will discuss about the life cycle of machine learning. What is machine learning? What is machine learning deployment? How it is important for your job profile. Suppose if you're a fresher or if you're working. Hello, am I audible? Hello, it shows me some reconnect pop up.
Yes, sir, you
Am I
are
audible
audible.
to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So, uh, in this session, we will going to learn about the machine learning life cycle. We will understand what is machine learning. The objective of this demo class is to understand what is machine learning and how we can implement this and why only Python, what all prerequisite we have. We'll discuss all the things, and after that, we will come to the query session. If you have any doubt, any question regarding the data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, Python, deployment, I'll explain all the things. So first, I'll tell you about the life cycle as well as the prerequisite. So the prerequisite of machine learning and data science is the Python language. Just give me a second. The prerequisite of this session is Python, but we will not going to use that much level of Python. We will going to use the basic things. So Python is the most preferable language of 2020. If you want to go for machine learning, data science, blockchain, web framework, AWS, Azure, Python is everywhere. So Python is the basic need for almost every technology. You can search on Google top programming languages of 2020. On second rank, you will see Python. In some of the blogs, you will see on the first rank Python. So you should learn Python if you want to be in a part of this role, technology role. Maybe you're doing BCA, BTech, MCA, MTech, or maybe we have some guys who are working, so they want to move themselves to the some special profiles like this. Stability is there, salary is there, means almost everything is there in this profile. So we will going to learn about these things. We'll discuss all the prerequisite, everything. How it is important for industry, how it is important for your career role, how it is important for your interview. We'll discuss all these things now. First, Python. So Python is very important. Python is widely used in multiple technologies. We can integrate Python in database, almost everything. You can give me the example. I'll give you the situation. There you can use Python, automation, data science, self-driving car, or we can take example of drones. Everywhere we can use Python. Even in IoT devices, we are using Python. Even in biological things like I can show you BioPython. Just have a look on this. This is a BioPython, a flavor of Python, which will help you to understand the concept of genes, concept of DNA, RNA, everything. So those who are doing their masters in or PhD in bio domain, they can go for this language to understand the depth knowledge of DNA, RNA, genes, everything, mutation. These kind of things you can understand by this language. After that, we have Pythonista. We have Pythonista. This is the flavor of Python. Again, the flavor of Python. Suppose if you want to develop a touch screen pad, maybe for laptop, maybe for iPad, maybe for cell phones. So you will have to use this library. Currently, iOS, Apple company, they are using this language for their iPad devices and Mac OS. You can search on Google as well about the Pythonista. So this is the top most important language currently Apple is using. It is not a free language. It is, you have to purchase this. Then only you can do your testing. Now, first of all, my question, a basic question you just have to answer. Whatever you think, you can just share with us. What do you understand by machine learning? Just the basic idea. Any idea machine learning is that, this, anything. Just share me your review, means share me about this. What do you understand by machine learning? Any basic thing. In machine learning, we can do this, we can do that, anything. Just share it. You can unmute yourself and you can share whatever you think. Uh,
Like
Shravan, can you unmute yourself? Because I'm
we
getting your answer in the chat. Adil, you also. You can share your reviews. I don't have any problem whether you are correct or incorrect. I'm here to correct you.
Sir, machine
So
learning
Adil, you
is
can start.
using preferable input according to the algorithm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other thing you want to add on?
Sir, learning from previous data or
Learning
learning
from previous data. Okay.
And giving
Okay, that
output
is
on the
good.
current
Any
situation.
other answer? Just come again, Adil.
And sir, giving output on the current situation by the use of previous data.
Yeah, exactly. That is actually the complete definition. Okay. Any other feedback? Any other thing you want to add on? Okay. So I'll tell you. So Adil is absolutely right. Making prediction by the experience of previous data. Spelling mistake. This is machine learning. Now I'll tell you. See, think about a situation like we can take the problem of diabetes. Suppose we have a data set, patient red blood cells, patient white blood cells, patient blood iron, patient blood insulin, patient blood glucose, and a particular result, whether he is suffering from diabetes or not. So we will have the data of 100 patients, 100 patients, their corresponding RBC, WBC values and their result, whether they are diabetic or they are not diabetic. Suppose we have this data. Now we will create a model. We will train that model with this data, and later on we will have to pass the input data like RBC value, WBC value, blood iron, insulin, glucose. That's all. My model will tell you whether that person is suffering from diabetes or not on the basis of this previous experience. We can use machine learning in different scenarios. Like, you can take the example of YouTube, you can take the example of Netflix. Like if you're watching any movie like for example any action movie, let's take example of Iron Man. If you're watching Iron Man on Netflix, Netflix will automatically give you the suggestions. You may also watch Iron Man 2, you may also watch Iron Man 3, or you may also watch Avengers. You will get these kind of suggestions. So they are nothing but the machine learning recommendation algorithms. How you can recommend something to the user. Again, this is done with the based on the previous data. Means Netflix have their previous user, so they has tracking their user. Suppose a user is watching Iron Man, after that he is watching Iron Man 2, then Iron Man 3. So Netflix actually building their pattern, how Iron Man is actually viewed by the user. So they are just capturing the skills of the users, and they are making prediction, making the recommendation to the new users. This is what is actually done in the Netflix system. Same in the YouTube as well. If you are going to watch any news, then you will get the suggestion, you will get the recommendation from the different news channels, special news, trending news, whatever. So this is machine learning. Even in PUBG, they are using machine learning. They are using machine learning to capture the skills of the gamers and transferring those skills to the bots. That is also machine learning. So now we will understand the life cycle of machine learning. What we have to do in the machine learning life cycle. And for industrial use, suppose if you are fresher and you want to go for a job for this profile. So make sure you need to understand the life cycle, programming language, database language, and this profile itself a technology machine learning. And you have to be aware of deployment. In this session, we will going to understand the deployment phase. Deployment is very important. You can take the content of the different institute. You will not get this content deployment, project deployment. They will write project implementation, but not the deployment. So what is deployment? I'll tell you. And in the industry, we are actually performing deployment. So I'll tell you, first of all, you understand these things with the paint section. So we will have the data. As Adil said, machine learning is a process of making prediction on the basis of previous data. So suppose this is my previous data. We'll make two columns, experience and the salary. So suppose we have two columns in my data set, experience and the salary. Now I have to implement machine learning in this data. But what is my problem statement? My problem statement is, we'll take some examples like experiences 2, experiences 5, 1, 6, 10. Suppose this is my experience and their corresponding salaries 21K, 45K, 9K, 60K, and suppose 1 lakh. Suppose this is your data. You have experience and you have their corresponding salaries. Now, suppose consider a profile of HR. HR needs to hire someone and they need to predict the salary. How much salary should be given to that user, that employee. So what HR did, HR have the previous data of the experience and the salary. Now my HR will make the model, means they will have this scenario, they will hire someone who is who belongs to this machine learning profile, and HR will share the data. This is my data, experience and salary. I want a model. In that model, if I'm going to pass the experience, that model will going to generate the salary. Just try to understand the scenario. We just need to feed the experience and my model will going to predict the salary. Suppose HR hire someone and they will ask for the experience, how much experience you have, and that user, if he or she said I'm having 7 years of experience, so my HR will feed the 7 into my model, and that model will going to tell the HR the salary should be given 70,000. So now HR will going to deal. We will going to pay you 70,000 or 65,000 or 60,000. Then they will bargain on that. So this is the process which we are going to do now. Suppose this is my data. Now, the first step in the machine learning is you have to divide your data into the X and Y. you have to divide your data into the X and Y. So this would be my X, this would be my Y. Your X or Y is nothing but your input and output data. You have to divide your data into the input and output data. Just consider one more example. Just tell me, in this problem, what is my input data and what is my output data? Just think about it.
Sir, input data will be RBC, WBC, and output will be that whether he is suffering from diabetes or not.
That is correct. The output would be result, whether that person is suffering from diabetes or not. And the input data is this whole thing. RBC, WBC, blood iron, insulin, and glucose. This is my input and result is my output. Similarly, this is this thing, RBC, WBC. This is my X and result is my Y. In machine learning, we always consider Y as an output because in the mathematics, you can refer, we always write Y equals to f of X. Y is nothing but your output. X is nothing but your input. Okay, I'll give you one more situation. Let's say blood count, will take the random samples. Blood count, sugar, cholesterol. Suppose this is my data. Now tell me which one is my input and which one is my output. Think about it. Which one is my input and which one is my output? If I
So,
want to detect whether a person is suffering from cancer or not.
so cancer will be the output and remaining,
Cancer will be the output.
yeah, remaining features,
Yes,
remaining
remaining.
will be the features.
So here variables are the
Okay,
only
features.
inputs.
Sorry, just repeat.
So
Just
variable
repeat.
are only the
See, this one is my output column, cancer. Whether a person is suffering from cancer, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And these things, blood count, sugar, cholesterol, these things are my input. Or we can say feature. Don't go in deep feature because feature is a technical term. So as of now, we will not going to use feature and label term. As of now, we will going to take input and output term. We're going to use these terms. Now, we will take the example from the paint section. This is my data and I have to divide my data into the two parts, input and output. So I'm going to divide my data. This is my input. This is my output. We'll give them a name, XY. This is very, very important. This is the deployment phase, which I'm going to tell you. After life cycle, we will going to implement the deployment as well. Now, this is my data. This was my data, initial data, raw data, or we can say. Once we have our raw data, we have to split our data into the two sections, input and output. Once we have splitted our data into these two sections, input and output, then we have to split our data into the training and test phase. I'll tell you. Suppose I have divided my data into the training and test phase. So my training data would be this. My testing data would be this. We'll write the names. This is my training data and this is my testing data. Now, in machine learning, we always have to divide our data into the two sections, training part and the test part. We will use the training data to train our model. Suppose we can take the example of this. We have a data. First, we have to divide our data into the two sections, training and test. Once we have divided into these two sections, then we will take the model, we will train our model with my training data. Later on, whether my model is good or bad. If we want to check whether my model is good, whether my model is giving me the right predictions or not. So I have to check my model on my testing data, whether it is performing good or not, whether it is giving me the right results or not. So we always have to divide our data into the two sections, training and the test. Once we divide our data into the training and test phase, then we have to take the blank model. This is my machine learning model. This is my machine learning model, and this is a idle model, or we can say a blank model, which don't know anything. Idle machine learning model. Now, after this, we have my model, we have my training data, we have my test data. Now we have to train our model. So I'll pass this data, training data, to my model to get this trained. Once my model is trained, we have to check whether my model is giving me the right results or not. Whether my model is giving me the right results or not, we have to check this. So how we can check? We will take this example. We will take this reference, this thing. You can see this is my X and this is my Y. Experience X corresponding salary 60K. Experience 10 corresponding salary 1 lakh. What I will do, I will pass this data, only the input data. I'll pass this data to my model and I'll ask my model to predict the salary of these two employees. On the basis of previous learning, my model will predict the salaries. Salaries would be like 55K, let's say 3 lakh. Now we will check whether my model is giving me the right results or not. How we can check? We can compare real output. We have the real output and we have the predicted output. We will compare these two. The salary of the first employee is 60K. What my model predicted 55K. We can okay with this. We can okay with this prediction. The next salary is employee whose experience is 10. His real salary is 1 lakh. What my model think, his salary should be 3 lakh. So there is a huge difference between these two salaries. So my model is giving me the 50% accuracy. Why 50%? Because I have passed two observations and it gave me the right prediction for one data and wrong prediction for the another data. So we have one positive case out of the two cases. Out of the total two cases, we have one positive case. So the accuracy would be 1 by 2 and the 1 by 2 is 0.5. 0.5 is 50% accuracy. Now we will going to implement this thing in the Python. Just have a look. We will going to implement the same thing. The same thing. First, we have this data. You can take the, you can see our data, the same data in the hard drive. Just have a look on the data. So you can see we have same data, year of experience and the salary. Now we will going to import this data into the Python. For that, I have to write import pandas as PD. Then data equals to pd.read underscore CSV. Data dot pd dot read underscore CSV. F drive salary underscore data. Now we can display the data. You can see your data has been imported into the Python. You have two columns, year of experience and the salaries. And the number of observations you have, you can see 30 observations you have. 0 to 29 means 30 observations. Now, what is my next task? My next task is to divide my data into the input and output. And my input should be X and my output should be Y. So I'm going to perform this. So there is some prerequisite, of pandas. So those who are not aware of pandas, later on we will going to discuss about the pandas. You just have to understand, as of now, you just have to understand what actually I'm doing. You don't need to understand how actually it is working, because there I have to explain the pandas basics. In this session, in this demo session, we can't do that. But later on, maybe tomorrow, we will discuss those things. So as of now, I'm just going to divide my data into the training and test. X equals to data.ilog 0 to -1. In my X, experience should be there. I'll show you. I'll display X. You can see this is my experience. Now, in my Y, I should have my salaries. Data.ilog : 0 to only -1. You can see 39343. Is this my salary or not? We'll check. This is my data. You can see 393446205. You can see this Y is nothing but your salary. So I have divided my data into the input and output, basically the X and Y. What is my next task? You can see in the paint section, we have to divide our data into the two sections, training and test. So generally we divide our data into the 80 and 20% ratio. Means my training data should always be 80%. And this one, testing part, this should be 20%. This is not the universal truth. We can change accordingly these numbers. 70-30, 60-40, 50-50. We can take these chunks, these division. But generally, we take 80-20% division. Now, I'm going to divide my data into the four sections. What all four sections? See, this is my X and this is part of my training. So this will becomes X train. This is my Y and this is a part of my training data. You can see this is above to this red line. So this would be my Y train, because this is my Y and this is a part of my train. So this is my Y train. Now this one is my X and this is a part of testing, because it is the below to this red line. So this will be represented as X test. This is my Y and this is a part of my testing data. So this would becomes Y test. Now we will take the model. First, we have to divide our data into these four sections. So I'm going to implement the same thing. For this, we have a machine learning library. You don't need to understand it into the deep as of now. Model.selection from sklearn.model.selection, model_selection, import train_test_split. So this is a function which will divide your data into the four sections: X train, X test, Y train, Y test. So we'll write all the four contents: X train, X test, Y train, Y test. After this, we have to use this function, train test split. In this, we have to pass data from where exactly you want to divide your data into the X and Y. Sorry, train test and test set. So we have to pass the input data. My input data is X and Y. And after that, we have to mention what should be your test size. So as I told you, your test size should be 20%. You can change it manually, 30%, 40%, anything. But generally it is 20%. So we will pass 0.20, because in machine learning, we will consider our entire data as 1%. So in the 1%, if you are going to divide that into the 20%, that would be 0.20%. So I've mentioned test size equals to 20%. Automatically your train size would be 80%. Now I'm going to run this query. I have run this and my data has been divided. X train separate, Y train separate, X test separate, Y test separate. You can take the output as well. You can see the output. My X train will have the input data. Okay, just wait, just wait. We have the 30 observations in this data. I have divided my train data as 80% and test data as 20%. Can you tell me how many rows will be there in my test data? How many rows would be there?
6 and 24.
6. 6 and 24. Because why? Because we have my entire data is 30. If I'm going to divide this in 20-80% ratio, so the 20% of this 30 is 6. So in test data, I'm having 6 rows. In train data, I'm having 24 rows. Just have a look on this. First, I'll display X test. Can you tell me in X test what will be the output? My experience or my salary? Think about it from this picture. In X test, what will be there? Salary or the experience?
Experience.
Experience. So I'm getting in the comment as well. So in X test, I'm getting the experience. But how much experience? How many rows? It is a part of test. So how many rows would be there?
6 rows will be
6. 6 rows will be there. We'll check. You can see in this I'm having experience, and that is of 6 candidates, of 6 employees. Similarly, if I'm going to predict Y test, then it will have the corresponding salary of this 6 employees. You can see the output, corresponding output. Person whose experience is 4.5, his corresponding salary is 61,111. Person whose experience is 10.3, salary 1,22,391. Similarly, we have the same data in the training section, but we have 24 data in that. Now, what is my next job? Just consider the paint section and tell me what is my next job. What all steps we have performed till now. Think about it. I know this is very new to you, so this is very hard to understand, but you can take the reference from the paint. What all steps we have performed and what now we have to perform.
So now we have to make ideal machine learning model.
Okay, so now we have to take the ideal machine learning model. So here we will take the very basic model, that is linear regression. So we have a library in Python, that is sklearn. I'll write about the library as well, sklearn. So it is a library of Python for machine learning tasks. Now from this library, I'm going to take the model, a blank model, from sklearn.linear_model, import linear regression only. This is a function. Now we have to make the object, or we have to make the reference of this function. So I'll write model equals to linear regression. I'll use this model as my blank model. This model have nothing as of now. We have to train this model with my training data. In order to train your model, we have to use a function called fit. So fit is a function which will train your model. So I have to train my model with what data? My training data. What is my training data? X train, Y train. So we have to pass the same thing into my model. X train, comma, Y train. Going to run this. If it generate the output, then it means your model got trained. If you're getting some error, then some issues are there. Just run this query. You can see it is actually generating the output. Means my model actually trained. Now, what we have to perform now? We have take the blank model. We have trained our model. Now what is left? What step is left? Think about it.
testing.
Testing. Just wait. I got the comment. Okay, testing. Okay, so my model is trained with my training data, but how I can think or how I can predict that my model is 100% accurate, or my model is 50% accurate, or my model is 10% accurate, how I can check that? I can check that by making the prediction from my test data. See, this is your test data, this one. This is your test data. What we will do, we will pass the input to the model. Only the input. I'm telling you the input. I'll pass this input to my model, and my model will predict the salary of these employees on the basis of previous experience. Salaries could be anything, 59K or 20K. How we can perform testing, how we can perform the result, whether my model is good or bad. We will compare these predicted salaries with real salaries. This is my real salaries. We will compare these two. If they are very, very close, then my model is good. If they are not close, then my model is bad. I'll perform this thing now. So I'm going to make the prediction from my model. So model.predict, I have to predict the salary of this data. So this is what, this is my X test. So I will pass X test in this. You can see it is predicting these salaries. We will compare the real salaries and the predicted salaries. This is my predicted salaries. I'm going to predict my real salaries now. My real salary is stored in Y test. I'm going to predict Y test. Now we can compare. Now we can compare, like, this is my first observation. My real salary was 61,000. What my model think? 69,000. My second salary, 1,22,000. My second salary, what my model predicted? 1,23,000. Almost very, very close. My next salary, 1,01,302. What my model predict? 1,0888. My next salary, real salary, 43,525. What my model think? My model think 45, very, very close. Next observation, my real salary is 81,363. What my model think? 82,000, almost very, very close. My next salary, 57,000. What my model think? 65,000. So it is actually a little bit vary with the real observation. So now this is my salary. We are getting the good results, but how we can find out the accuracy? So for accuracy, first we have to store the predicted salaries in the variable. We can take any variable name. Let's say ypred. Ypred means predicted output. Now I'll use one more model, that is from sklearn dot matrices import R2 code. This function will give me the accuracy of my model. This function will tell us how much percentage your model is good, how much your model is accurate. Just wait, will require some ref section. If R square value is close to 1, then your model is good. If it is close to 0, then it is worse, or we can say bad. Third key point, R2 score value can lie could be an interval from -1 to +1. Now we will check the R square value. In this, we need to pass the real results and the predicted results. Now tell me in which variable I'm having the real results. and which variable I'm having the predicted results. In which variable we have predicted salary and the real salary.
Y predict we are having the predicted values.
And Y test?
Y test we are having the original or actual values.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to pass Y test, comma, Y pred. This will give us a value which will lie from -1 to +1. This is +1, not the underscore. You can see the value. It is close to 0, or it is close to 1. Tell me.
Close to 1.
Close to 1. Then your model is good or bad?
Good.
Your model is good. So this is what is the life cycle of the machine learning model. Okay. Any doubt, query, please ask. Sometimes in the industry, they will ask you to plot the data on the graph. So for that, you will require one more library, again a Python library, matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. Then plt.scatter. Suppose they will ask you to predict the data on the graph. So you have to write suppose they want you to predict the testing data. So testing data is X test and the Y test. You can see your data. This is your data. How your model line fitted into this data. If you want to see that, then you have to write plt.plot X test, then Y pred, your predicted salary. So this line is nothing but your machine learning line, the prediction line. From the basis of on the basis of this line, your model actually making the prediction on the basis of this line. Now tell me, what is the equation of this line? You guys are aware of this, the equation of this line. You might have aware of this term, y equals
Y
to mx
equals
plus c.
Y equals to
it's
M.
y equals to mx.
So this is the equation of this line. What is m and what is c?
M is the slope
And c,
C is the constant.
coefficient or constant, we can say. Now in the industry, they will ask you to find out the equation of this line. How you will going to find out? In the industry, they will going to ask you to find out the equation of this line. How you will going to find out that? You will require these two data, slope and the coefficient. So you have created your model. You need to remember that you have created your model with model name. If you want to find out the intercept value or the coefficient value, then you just have to write model.coef. This will give you the coefficient value. If you want to find out the intercept value, then you have to write model.intercept underscore. This will give you the count of the intercept. Now just substitute the value of coefficient and the intercept in this line, in this equation. So my m is coefficient and my coefficient value is this. Here it is. Now my c is the coefficient and the value of c is this. I'll substitute in place of c. So you have to pass this information to your client. This is the equation of this line which we have predicted from my machine learning. So this is the equation of this line. This one is the equation of that line. Suppose if you want to make the prediction, now tell me any experience. Suppose if you want to make prediction from for an employee whose experience is 3 or whose experience is 10 or 7, what will be his salary? Now tell me one number. Tell me one number for user you want to predict the salary. Just tell me the experience.
5 years.
5 year. Okay. So my 5 is X or Y? Just tell me. What is my 5?
X. X.
X.
X.
Equal.
Just wait. Your experience is 5. X is nothing but your X. So how you can find out the salary of that employee? You just need to pass this 5 into this equation. Here you just need to pass 5. And whatever output you're getting in the Y, that will be his predicted salary. You can see the answer. I'm going to run this query and I'll show you the answer in the Y. What answer we store in the Y? Print Y. Just have a look. It says the employee whose experience is 5, his corresponding salary would be 73,720. If you want to change it, let's say you want to know a person whose experience is 1, what will be his corresponding salary? So just type 1 here. We can check the salaries. It says his salary should be 36,246. So this is how you can make the prediction from your model, from this equation. Is this thing clear to everyone? If you have any doubt, any question, you can ask. And sometime they will ask you to plot the dimension name. What your x-axis actually represent? Just tell me, what is my x-axis? Salary or experience?
Experience.
So you just need to mention here plt.x label. That is your nothing but the experience of employees. What is your y-axis?
Is a prediction. Or a
Not
salary.
prediction.
Salary of employee.
Salary of employee, correct. Now this looks good. User can easily understand, client can easily interrelate what my x-axis represent, what my y-axis represent. If you want to change the color of the data, like both are in blue color, suppose regression line, if you want to plot that in red color, you just have to mention red here. Now this will be in red color. So this is your life cycle of your machine learning. Life cycle of entire machine learning model. Now again, I'm repeating, if you have any doubt, question, you can ask. Because now we will switch to the deployment phase. We are going to make the web application of this particular model. So we will require a library which is Flask. You can implement these things with Flask or Django. I'm going to use Flask because I'm comfortable with Flask. And Flask is very, very easy to understand. So from Flask library, I'm going to import the model Flask. This will take almost 5 to 10 minutes more. Now I'll create my app. So I have to give an app name. Let's say the app name is app. We have to initialize this app with Flask. You don't have to go in deep for this because you are not aware of Flask programming everything. So the session should start from Python language, then pandas, then matplotlib, then machine learning, then this Flask. So we are not going in a sequence manner because this is just a demo session. Now we have to route this app to the web. So I have to write app.route. Suppose the basic index like normal default index. In this, I have to run my template. I have to create one template as well. So for that, I required a HTML coding. Think about it, what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a web interface, means let's say I'm going to open Google Chrome. I'm going to open Google. Here, I have to pass one text box. User will enter his experience. And the moment when he click on submit button, salary will be predicted on the web page only. So I'm going to make a form. So we will going to use Sublime Text. Sublime Text is a good software. Those who are not aware of HTML coding, they can use the reference of Sublime Text. It will automatically generate the code. I'm going to save this file in D drive. with the name salary.html, because the extension of the web file is always HTML. So salary.html, you need to remember this, salary.html and D drive. Now in this I have to code for HTML. I just need to code for only one text box. We have to create one form name. Let's say the form name is details, detail, method, how exactly you want to pass this information from this Google Chrome to your Python. So that would be post. Inside this, you have to create a text box like enter your experience. After this, we have to generate a text box. User will input his or her corresponding input, input experience. Input type should be text and a variable. The user who will enter his corresponding experience, on which variable it will going to save. So it will going to save in a variable, let's say val1. After that, we required submit button. Input type equals to submit. That's all. We'll create some break. Break means it will split the new lines. It will create the new lines. Save this page. Now I'm going to run that HTML page into the Python. So def, a function name could be anything. Don't go in deep in this. Return, we have to run that template. So in order to run any template, we will require one function, that is render template, render underscore template. This function allow us to run the template into the Python code. I know this is very, very tricky, very, very complex. What was my HTML file name? In D drive,
salary.html.
salary.html. So we have to write salary.html here, and we have to run this app now, app.run. Now we will check whether it is working, whether it is running on Google Chrome or not. It generates a link. It says your app is running on this particular link. We'll click on this. Internal server error. Some error is there. We need to check what is the error. I have not mentioned the extension. It's salary.html. So we have to mention the exact thing. Salary.html. Now I'm going to run this again. Now you can see I'm actually able to run my HTML file into the Python code. Enter your experience, then submit. It should display the salary, but as of now it will not work. Why? Because we have not coded. Let's say the experience is 4 and I want to know his salary. I have not coded yet anything. So it will throw an error, not found. Now we will extract the information from this page, and from this form. Now tell me my form name. What is my form name? Action
Detail.
is your form name. Action is your
Yes,
form
sir.
name. So your action is detail. So detail is the name of your form. Now we are going to link my Flask code with that form, that is detail. I'm going to link that. App.route. We have to mention, @ we have to mention the form name. So my form name is detail. So I have to write detail here, and methods. Methods is how exactly you want to transform your data from HTML to Python or vice versa, like from Python to HTML or HTML to Python. So the method are get and post. Those who are aware of HTML, they are aware of these things. If they are not, then it will take almost 2 to 3 classes and you will be aware of deployment phase. So don't worry about that. Just as of now, understand what we are doing. Now we have to create a function. Function name could be anything, let's say mobile. In this, we are going to extract the data from the HTML page. So for that, again, one function will be required, that is request. Now in function, I have to code if request dot method equal to post, means the line meaning is if in the HTML page you are passing your information from the past method, then only it will take the data. So inside this, I have to extract the data. Experience equals to request dot form. Inside this, you have to mention the variable name. Now tell me the variable name. On which variable my experience got saved?
Val1.
Val1.
Val1. So you have to write val1 here. Now I am going to display whether actually I'm getting my experience here or not. We'll run this code again. It will take almost 5 to 10 seconds because it's a Chrome problem. I'm using IP version 6, that is why. It will take almost 6 to 10 seconds. Then it will allow me to input the data. I'm going to pass here 4. Internal server error. Maybe some issue is there, so we have to check. So just read out the error. It says function did not return anything. The main thing is in the Flask, if you're creating any function, that function should return something. So I'm going to write the same line, this line. Now again, I'm going to run this. Four. You can see I'm getting information in Python. 4. Let's say 555 submit. You can see I'm getting information in Python. 1000 submit. You can see 1000. So I'm getting information from the HTML page. Now what I have to do, I don't have to print this. First, you have to understand this. Your type of the data is text, string. So first you have to convert this into the int or float, whatever. Now this experience value you have to pass in the model. So my model name, my machine learning model is model.predict. I am going to make prediction from this value. Inside this, I'll write exp. Now it will give you the salary of this experience. Now just wait. I'll store this into the result and I will display the result value. Now consider this code. Going to run this, going to execute one more time. Now, whatever experience I'm going to pass, it will go into the machine learning model, and my machine learning model will going to tell me what should be his corresponding salary. And whatever salary he got, he is able to find out, it will give you, it will display the same thing on the screen. You can see, going to pass 5. My experience is 5. What will be my salary? Submit. You can see experience, salary would be 73,720. Suppose my experience is 1. What will be my corresponding salary? You can see the output, 36246. My experience is 10. My salary, 1,20,000. So this is nothing but the deployment phase. This is a test deployment. This is how we are implementing things in the industry. So this is an industry level work, how they are deploy their model into the cloud, into the Flask, into the web. So we have to do this. Sometimes we can use cloud, like we can use AWS, we can use Azure, we can use Heroku, we can use GitHub, we can use these things in order to deploy our machine learning project. And we will require one web framework, that could be your Flask, that could be your Django, That could be your Angular language. That could be on Node.js, React, these things for deployment phase. If you are going to learn machine learning, you will be able to learn only machine learning, not the deployment phase, which is very, very important in the industry because they will ask you about the deployment. Can you deploy this project into the AWS machine? Can you deploy this project into the Flask? Can you deploy this project into the Django? So they will ask you these kind of questions in the higher level. Now I'm almost done with my demo part. If you have any doubt, query, please ask. Any doubt regarding the deployment, any part regarding the Python or machine learning or data, anything. You can unmute yourself and you can share whatever query you have. Just unmute and try to ask questions. You should be more talkative because when it comes to the interview, there they will ask you the questions. You don't have to wait for the opportunity. So if you have any doubt query, you can ask. Can we have this recorded video for future reference? Santosh, I guess ma'am, she will tell you is it is possible or not.
Santosh, we will try to do that. Okay.
Okay, so any other doubt from Adil, from Manisha, Shravan, Santosh? I know
Hello,
the session
sir.
is quite hectic. Yes. Yes, Adil.
Actually, sir, I want to ask that I'm a mechanical engineer and now I'm working in this. So, is it going to be very hard or?
See, Python is very, very simple. You just have to go with logics. Don't do cramming or we can say ratification. You don't have to do those things.
Yeah.
You just have to understand things by the logic. If you are good with the logic, you can easily interrelate. You can relate these things. So you are from mechanical background.
Yes, sir.
So later on, you can link this with the IoT profile as well.
Okay, sir.
You can build your sensors,
Okay.
parking sensors, these kind of things. So in future, you have to go for IoT as well.
Okay, sir.
Or maybe you will have the bright future in this profile only. You can have.
Okay, sir.
The only thing is the logic. You should be clear with the logics. If logic is clear, you can relate those skills anywhere, whether it is an interview or whether it is a real life situation or whether it is a deployment phase. You are sitting in the company and you have to work on some deployment phase. If you are good with the logic, you can relate. You can easily correlate everything.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any doubt? And you should be more talkative whenever there is a session because you may have so many doubts and you should have. And if you don't have doubts, if you're already aware of these things, then you can ask for different things. Maybe image recognition system, maybe recommendation system, maybe classification, prediction, deep learning, data science, artificial intelligence, anything. So you should be more talkative because Institute, they are providing these demo sessions for you for upgrading your knowledge. Okay, so this is all from my end. Ma'am, if you want to convey something, you can go for it.
Yes, sir. In just 2 minutes.
Okay. And try to learn technologies because technologies help you to find out a good job, not the languages, not the database, not the Python only. Technology is very, very important. You can search on Naukri.com, Times Job, Indeed, these portals. You can search on how much jobs we have in machine learning profile, how much jobs we have in data science profile. So just do this research. Yes, yes, Adil.
Sir, after demo class, you are going to be our mentor.
Again, ma'am will tell you these things because I'm just here for the demo and the training part. We have so many trainers.
Sorry, Adil,
So ma'am will
what's
tell
your
you.
come again?
What one?
Yeah, come again, please.
Adil, just repeat your question.
What is the
And
query you just asked?
he's
Yeah.
going to our mentor or someone else.
Okay, about the
Because
Maybe.
for
mentor.
now he is
Okay,
good, he is best.
we will just start to have. Okay, it's good that you understand what sir told. Okay, we will try and we will just start to give you the mentor only, Nitin sir only. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Basically, the four. I just want to give you a brief introduction about the four achievers. Okay. So, four achievers basically deals in the advanced learning courses. Okay. We are giving you the each and every classes through the Zoom sessions, and we will be flexible according to you. Just the need is that you all have to just be attentive and just stood and just say whatever you want to say. Okay. So, are you satisfied with the session? You want to anything ask anything about the demo session? Anything you want?
Hey, hi. I have a question regarding the course. Can you please
Okay.
let me
Can
know? My name is Ankit. Yeah. So, ma'am, mentor is a good and he deliver the in a best way he can. Can you let me know what's the duration of the course? Exactly the duration, like how much time it's going to be, like how long it took.
Actually, the we have divided the course, the module in the levels. Okay, we have divided the levels in 5 levels. We have divided the modules.
Okay.
Uh,
And is
Ankit,
there a mentor is
I think so.
available, right? Yep.
Nitin sir can give a better answer for the same. Okay, so the total duration will be like a 3 to 4 month. Okay,
Okay.
just we need to see which model you want to continue. Like if you are here for the data analytics or for the machine learning only. So if you want to go for a data science, so data analytics and machine learning, the both model will be included, right? So
Okay.
it will take around 3 to 4 months, and our HR will connect you over the call, okay, regarding all of the queries. Okay.
And is mentor is available right now on a
Yes, yes,
call?
mentor is available.
Yep.
Nitin,
So,
Yes, yes, I'm
yeah,
available.
yeah. Hi, Nitin. So, so basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
hi.
In a machine learning, like we learn supervised learning and unsupervised, and most of the institutes
Mm-hmm.
teach this unsupervised and supervised learning, but not the reinforcement. So, are you gonna
Yeah,
teach us
reinforcement.
reinforcements? So
Yeah, reinforcement,
reinforcements
there is
is
no
included,
problem.
right?
Reinforcement, we can add. I don't have any problem
Okay,
because it
because
will
most
take
of the
almost two
institutes, yeah,
classes.
yeah, because most of the
Yeah,
institutes
actually, the thing
are
is,
not
okay,
going to
okay,
tell
just
you. Yeah.
wait. I'll tell you what is reinforcement
Okay.
learning. You know very well, machine learning is of three types. Actually, three types. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So this is machine learning. It is divided into three categories. The first one is supervised, as you said before.
Yep.
Wait. Supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement.
Yes.
In supervised, we have label data.
Yep.
In unsupervised, we don't have label data. Unsupervised, we don't have labeled data.
Machine have to predict by itself.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
machine have to group. In
Yeah.
unsupervised means
Exactly.
it is about the clustering. It is about the grouping of the data.
Yeah.
Now, reinforcement. Reinforcement is nothing but the AI. See, whenever you are checking these things on the Google, somewhere you will see machine learning is of two types, somewhere you will see machine learning is of three types. So the third type is nothing but the hit and trial method. And hit and trial method is nothing but the AI.
Okay. So basically, I am a computer science engineer, and we learn reinforcement is quite difficult for the like machine learning
Yeah, it
and
is
other
very,
stuff.
very
So that's why
difficult.
so that's why like institutes not included these things in the most of the courses. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, yeah, the problem is very, very clear because it is a hit and trial strategy. Hit and trial. If your machine is going good, you have to give them reward. If your machine is not doing good, then you have to give them penalty. You have to penalize it.
Yeah.
Reinforcement is very, very seriously, it is very, very complex. It is ongoing process. Currently, deployment phase is currently going on. Researchers, they are doing research on this. When it comes to robotics is the main field for reinforcement.
Okay.
I guess you are
So
aware of.
yeah. So basically, you will be going to like teach us more than about the like basic regarding this reinforcements, right?
More than
You teach
about
us
the,
the
yes, exactly.
yeah. You teach us the supervised and unsupervised very well, and more than or average from the basic of reinforcements, right?
Basic, or you can say just a little bit up to the basic. Because
Overview, right?
reinforcement, we don't have machines, we don't have that much data available in the internet. We don't have.
Okay.
We have
Okay.
the basic data.
Okay.
Otherwise,
So
we have
in
the that data where we have to spend almost half a month into that problem.
okay. So actually, I'm looking for like Python with the Python like data science with Python and machine learning. So you are going to like teach us with the starting with Python and then machine learning
Python.
and with yeah, and with as a data science like with deep learning and other stuff, right?
Yes,
Deep learning
yes.
is
Deep
included, right?
learning, yeah, deep learning is included. In deep learning, sorry, after deep learning, we will have the deployment phase as well. We will
Okay.
going to
And
host our model into the, yeah, please
okay,
go
and
ahead.
I have one or more questions. Like, how
Mhm.
many projects are like you are going to like teach us? Like, how many
Spam,
projects we are
okay,
going to work on?
okay, spam classifier, then image recognition system, then project almost 4 to 5 from the Kaggle side. We can work on those projects. And I have some mini
Okay.
projects as well, like projects from the different companies. Suppose you want to find out the tensile strength of the steel, how you can make the good quality of steel. So we have the data, number of copper, sulfur, amount of copper, amount of sulfur, amount of silica. I'll give you that data and you have to find out the tensile strength, how you can improve the quality of steel.
Okay.
I'll give you
And
that project as well.
okay. And
Yes.
like, if I like go for a what I can say, like open what we saying in the computer science language is like open to something. Sorry, open source projects. So are you going to help us or not? If we like take a
Do you
open
have
source
the
project,
open source project?
no, not right
If you
now,
have,
but
yeah, I
if
can.
we
Yeah, I can. I
okay,
can. Yeah, I can.
okay, that's
Actually,
okay,
I'm doing
Nitin. So
this. In the
okay,
part
Nitin,
time,
thanks.
I'm doing this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I'm asking. Like most of the like guys are using like done the open source because it helps you to build a CV, very good CV.
Sir, Kaggle is actually the this kind of platform. I guess you're aware of Kaggle or not?
Actually,
Kaggle. It's Kaggle.
I'm not actually.
So
I'm aware
just
of the GitHub and other
ju-
stuffs.
just open it up. Kaggle is very, very simple, very easy to understand. Kaggle is a platform. There you will have the data like the data of the project, whether it is a machine learning, IoT, whatever. You have the large amount of data set available in the Kaggle and it is freely
Okay,
available.
okay.
You can
So
check.
yeah.